Okay. Hey everyone, it's me, Marquette. Obviously, you know from the other videos this week, it's coming out week. So, I don't really have a coming out story. But, I guess I have a couple tips, but I don't know if anything I have to say is anything that you've never heard before. And, by the way, sorry my room's a mess. I'm trying to clean up. I'm moving to college in 10 days, so I'm trying to pack up and everything, so that's why my room's a mess. But back to coming out. Coming out is something that every LGBT person has to do on their own. It's their own thing. So, along with that, coming out, you have to do that on your own time. There's no one can force you to do it. No one can tell you, oh, you need to come out. No one can tell you, oh, stay in the closet. If you want to come out, you have to come out. You have to come out for yourself. Second, you don't have to come out if you don't want to. I've gotten questions before from people asking, oh, do I have to come out because I don't want to? I don't feel like I need to. So, only come out if you feel like it's going to make a situation better. If it's, you don't have to come out if you don't feel like you need to. If you don't want to, don't do it. It's not a big deal. Alright, so when you're coming out to people, don't make it a big deal, because it's really not. You're just telling them, hey, I don't like girls, or hey, I don't like boys. It's not it's not a big deal. The way I see it is straight people come out, or don't come out, don't have to come out. So why do you make it sound like it's a big deal for you to have to come out? You're just saying who you like. It's not a big deal. That's just me. And the less of a deal that you make it out to be, the easier it is for the people around you. If you're worried about it, then it might worry other people, and it might freak other people out as well. Okay then, so if you're thinking about coming out, I would suggest that you always have a backup plan, because you never know. Just because you think someone's completely okay with it doesn't mean they are. There are a lot of people that have come out to their best friend thinking that they would be okay with it, and their friends completely reject them. So if you're coming out to someone, especially if you're coming out to your parents and you think there's even a possibility of them kicking you out of the house, then you should have a backup plan. Don't come out if you think that there's a possibility of something bad happening. Yeah, it might be worth the risk in the long run, but if there's a possibility of your parents disowning you or kicking you out of the house, then make sure you have somewhere else to go, your best friend, your cousin, anyone that is okay with you being gay. As far as coming out to your best friend, if you don't know how they're going to react to it, it might be a good idea to bring the subject up in a way that doesn't involve you telling them that you yourself are gay. Maybe ask them how they feel about gay marriage, or ask them if they know anybody that's gay, or just ask them about anything LGBT related, and see how they react to that. If they're creeped out by it, or if they're oh, I don't have a problem with anyone that's gay, then you know how they're going to react, and it can be helpful. If you know how they feel about LGBT people, it's going to be easier for you to come out yourself, because then you can just be oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gay. If that makes sense, any sense at all. Also, a lot of people I've seen feel because they're coming out, they have to change who they are. You're the same person before you were gay, or before you were out. Not before you were gay, you were born gay, but before you were out, as you were when you were in the closet. So don't think that because you're out of the closet now that you have to dress a certain way, or you have to act a certain way. You can still be the same person that you always were. And don't let other people tell you that just because you're out of the closet that you have to act a certain way now. You're the same person that you've always been. And try to explain that when you're coming out of the closet. Don't let them know that, hey, I'm the same exact person that I was 2 years ago before you knew that I was gay or lesbian or bisexual or whatever you are. And as far as if you're straight and you're watching this and someone comes out to you, understand that it's a nerve-wracking time for them. They're probably more scared than you are. They're more confused than you are. Just try to be as supportive as you can be. Try to be as accepting as you can, even if you aren't completely sure of them. Make sure that you ask questions, because, like, if you don't understand something, ask them questions. Like, ask them how to do things. But don't ask them questions like, oh, how do you know you're gay if you've never been with a guy? Or how do you know you're gay if you've never been with a girl? Because it's the same way that if you're straight, then you know that you would never want to be with someone of the same sex. They obviously know that they don't want to be with someone of the opposite sex. So, and then also don't ask them like, oh, how long have you been? Sorry, my sisters are annoying. But if you're straight, don't ask like, how long have you been gay? Because it's the same thing as how long have you been straight. It's like common sense stuff. Do you hear that? Why do I have scissors in my hand? Do you hear that? It's annoying. And if you're coming out of the closet, make sure you give the other person the opportunity to ask you questions. Don't just be like, oh, I'm gay. Change topic. Like, give them the opportunity to ask you questions, like, because that's going to make them feel more comfortable and feel like, okay, so like I was saying, if you're coming out, give them the opportunity to ask you questions, because it's going to make them feel more comfortable, and it's going to give them the opportunity to, like, kind of get rid of some of the notions and preconceived. Holy cow. It's gonna give them the opportunity to get rid of some of the preconceived notions that they have if they've never met a gay person or an LGBT person. It's gonna give them the opportunity to be like, oh, I didn't know that, or oh, that makes sense now. So give them the opportunity to ask you questions. And yeah. Sorry this video is crap. I tried uploading one and my computer just said it wasn't working, so I had to redo another one, and it's just not good because I forgot everything that I had said before, and the lighting's different now because I don't have I use my outside light and it sucks, and I'm sorry. And obviously you can hear my sisters in the background fighting, and it's just not working. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, until next week. Bye. I'm sorry. Such a bad video. Bye. Bye. And such a bad